good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, or whatever part of the day it is for you. I'm your host, Todd, and this is Mother Base Radio. As always, I'm joined by my co-hosts Benny and Copello, but this week we also welcome back Danny as our special guest. This is his second episode in a row, and we're glad to have him. But before we get into the gaming news, let's go ahead and start with a song.
You never say we were recording, Danny. You're not supposed to do that.
Thanks a lot, Mikey.
You just Mikey'd the whole thing up.
Totally muckled.
I'm sorry, guys.
You're okay, Danny. Hi, Danny. This is your second time in a row.
Getting edgy here.
Podcast. Yeah. Very edgy.
Again with special guest Daniel Garza.
Heyo.
Hi, Danny.
For the second time in a row.
When does it get to a point where he's not a special guest anymore? He's like here every week.
That's the fourth one.
That's the fourth one?
That's the fourth.
Is that the rule?
You need at least 4 in a row.
I just go in increments of 2 and then 1 break.
Right.
So you can always be a special guest.
I'm always special, guys.
So,
you are Mr. Nilla Wafers.
You know what? We should add it to the group chat and just we can call them that Nilla Wafers.
Nilla Wafers.
PSN ID should be Nilla Wafers.
Danny's gonna be secret code name Nilla Wafers.
Nilla Wafers. I'm down.
I'll be
People
brother
are gonna
blood.
be like, what the fuck?
So, it's been...
I'll be brother grape juice.
Would you drop your phone?
My phone.
Oh, jeez. It's been a slow week.
Yeah.
Like, overall, not just in gaming, I think just like in life. Well, for me personally. It's pretty slow this week.
It's been kind of slow for me as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's slow.
Moderate for you.
It's been hot outside.
Oh, yeah, Jesus Christ. Like,
Benny's been busy getting muscle cramps.
Man, that shit's not fun.
yeah, you getting muscle cramps?
Being woken up at 12 in the morning through muscle cramps.
That sucks, dude.
That's
Have you ever gotten cramps like in the middle of the morning on in like both calves or something?
No, I've woken up to that.
Oh,
I've
me
been
too.
asleep,
I hate that.
just and then
Yeah.
I feel like freaking Hank Hill. Just
Like whenever you get them here, do you always like want to pick up your leg or something?
I straighten out my leg
that's the way you're
and
supposed to do it.
pick up my foot.
Your foot,
and
yeah.
back and forth.
All
And,
my life, I was like,
that'll hurt for the rest of the day.
yeah,
Like it feels horrible.
yeah.
Have you guys had that?
It's terrible.
I've had
Shit
calf cramps before.
fucking sucks.
This is last time that I went to the gym, I got on the treadmill.
Well,
A testament to how fit we are.
I ran for like 3 miles, right?
Okay, that's not bad.
When I got off, like instant fucking cramps, I had to go with my arms like slightly up because if I put them down, they cramped hardcore. So I was walking around the gym like all stiff and shit, like
Danny,
water fountain.
What was the last time before that you had worked out or anything?
Over a year ago.
Okay, yeah, that's gonna happen. Did you stretch?
No. There's no need for stretching.
Yes, there is. Absolutely.
We have grape juice and Nilla wafers. We're protected.
The body of Christ will protect you from cramps.
The body of Christ can
See, I had just drank some grape juice and Nilla wafers before, so I was good. I was set.
Okay, alright.
What fucking church do you go to, Daddy?
Look, it should be said, me and Danny don't go to church anymore because Nilla wafers.
You found higher quality
they
shit.
They caught Danny in the back, like eating all the Nilla wafers.
I turned around with like, huh?
This is gonna go badly. I don't care. But Danny had 2 options. The father was like, "You either leave right now, or we settle this another way."
Oh God! Literally.
Gonna put you on your knees, son.
Okay. Well.
Whoa.
Great episode. See you guys next week.
See you guys next week.
Bye, Marcos. Goodbye, Marcos.
Hope you enjoyed this episode, Marcos.
Then he's gonna go back into hiding, so I gotta leave for a couple of months now.
I'm being targeted by the Vatican now.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, literally, oh, Jesus. Okay, this is gonna stop.
Then he's gonna be some sort of superhero where he takes a bite out of vanilla wafers and becomes protected by the power of Christ. And then he runs into danger.
Jesus.
Like Jesus. And he runs into danger but saves everyone.
It's got a fucking skeleton that drank milk.
Well, I was gonna go with that one man that has cancer in his arms and eats spinach.
Oh, Popeye.
Yeah.
Popeye? Oh my god.
Oh, man.
We're reaching sleepy cast levels of edge right here.
You know what? I am okay.
We're fine with that.
Before we go too far, what's everyone been
I mean, we've gone way
Too far.
It's too late for that.
Too far.
The man become immune by eating vanilla wafers is not far enough. What do we gotta do? Make brother blood?
That's where editing skills come in. But what's everyone been up to this week?
Danny, how'd you like?
Oh, don't start with me.
Don't start with me.
Well, I guess I'll go first. So I ran out of World of Warcraft this week.
Oh no!
And I'm still itching to play. So
Okay.
it kind of sucks. I didn't get enough of my World of Warcraft fix.
Okay.
Thankfully, like a month of World of Warcraft was only like $14, so it's not.
Well, it's not
it's
that bad.
It's not that bad, but
I thought that price decreased recently.
no, it's always been
It's always been
$15
$15
a
a
month. Yeah, it's better if you pay like in one lump sum.
Yeah,
like,
just like
To give you a discount or something?
like 6 months, I believe, is like $30 or something like that.
Well, it's not that bad.
$40.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's like a decent discount if you pay in lump sum.
Yeah, it's better that way. It's most of the time, like if you're buying a year of anything, it's better that way. You save a lot of money.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm gonna try and like get a month. I think Mike offered to get me a month so that we could keep playing. I might take him up on it because Legion is coming soon.
August.
Yeah, August. So I want to have at least one max level character for Legion.
Cool.
And so once I ran out of World of Warcraft, I then finished the third season of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Oh yeah, Stardust Crusaders.
Yeah, which was
Egyptian
it's good. Like I like JoJo, but the third season probably not my favorite.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it again. Battle Tendencies is by far my
It's
favorite.
the best one.
Best
yeah.
intro. Pretty good fucking outro. I don't remember the outro. It was Walk Like an Egyptian. No,
That was for
that's
Stardust.
first season of
Yeah, it's for
Stardust.
Stardust. The outro for JoJo is pretty good. I don't remember exactly.
Roundabout.
Yeah.
Roundabout. Yeah.
Yeah, that's super good.
Love the cliffhangers that they would do.
Yeah.
With
Oh
the
man,
guitar.
it's super super good.
I hate that they stopped doing that. I wish. I wish they would have kept that in Stardust. But so yeah, now that I don't have Warcraft,
Just watching.
I've gotten back into anime.
Cool.
I've considered quite a bit.
You have homework.
They're already gonna show me.
You do have homework, Capella.
They're already gonna show me the Iron Fortress bullcrap.
Iron Fortress, and we have to start Diamond is Unbreakable.
Yeah, and diamonds.
So Diamond is Unbreakable is the fourth iteration or season, I guess,
fourth season
of the JoJo grand line of
Do they switch to another
Bloodline.
JoJo?
Yes, time has passed. Yeah.
It's Jotaro, but his last name is like Himigakure or Himi something. It's Japanese.
It's
last
Another
name.
Jotaro.
It's JoJo.
Jotaro is just called Jotaro.
Yeah, since like there's no Joe in their last names anymore, which is weird.
Jotaro.
But it looks good, and I'm gonna start that with Ben. And I've been considering a lot of other anime.
Cool.
Yeah, that's pretty much my week. I finished World of Warcraft I think on Tuesday. Then for the rest of the week, I was just watching JoJo.
Cool. That sounds like a good time waster.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna jump out to me because Danny didn't want to start. So
Oh, it's because I was thinking of what I've played this week.
So I played a little bit of Doom.
Yes.
Doom is fun, man.
Yes.
I'm not even interested in the multiplayer, and all I've done like 2 stages in the campaign, and boy is that game fun.
Yeah.
And I found quote unquote secrets.
Yeah, there's a
and
ton of them.
those secrets are weapons.
Yeah.
That you're not supposed to have yet.
That's
so
awesome.
I was like, oh, there's incentive here.
Yeah, there's a lot of Easter egg stuff going on there. There's a lot of homage to a bunch of other
So
games.
you find dolls. Those are some of the secrets. They're dolls.
Okay.
The dolls are all old classic characters. Like there's Blue Guy.
Oh really?
Do you know who Blue Guy is?
Yeah.
It's just it's like the Doom character, but in blue.
In blue.
And then there's Classic Guy, which is you.
Sweet, yeah.
And like there are just little animations there now, and then we're like the guy moves up the hand and arranges it. He fist bumps the doll.
Oh, that's awesome.
And he just puts it away, and like he continues.
That's the kind of stuff I
completely
love.
Demolishing zombies and monsters and whatnot.
I heard that there was a Skyrim Easter egg too later.
I have not seen that.
Don't know what it is because I don't want that particular spoiled for me. But I heard there's one somewhere in there.
Oh wow!
So I haven't seen a lot of Doom, but from what it looks like from the last game, they were trying to be like, oh, we're spooky and everything. But
yeah, totally different now.
Yeah, it's a whole new.
This one they moved on to like full on action.
I wouldn't say moved on; it's they went back to the original.
Yeah,
and back. You know what? It's good.
Yeah,
it's super good.
I like Doom 3. I think Doom 3 is one of those underappreciated games because people.
It wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad, but I think that it was doing a lot of cool stuff. Like it was transitioning to a horror game. It didn't fail, but it didn't do amazing either.
Yeah.
But
it wasn't critically panned or acclaimed or anything.
And I'm not the kind of person that's into nostalgia as much as a lot of other people are, but like. First person, like FPS is like old school, like stuff like that, like Quake and stuff like that. Whenever new stuff comes out that like harkens back to that, I'm so into it. Like Wolfenstein, super into it.
Yeah.
And when I saw Doom, at first it was like, oh no, I don't like what I'm seeing. And then now, after it's been out for a while, people are like, it's fucking awesome.
Every time I've seen it, it was people going like, oh man, the multiplayer, but like I didn't care about the multiplayer. And then like super recently, I saw like a quick bit of the story. And that caught me. That caught my attention. I was like, "Hey, Danny, let's go get Doom." And so we went and got Doom. while eating Nilla wafers, just to keep ourselves on the good side, because we were getting some demonic bullshit called Doom.
So Doom. A lot of people are like, "Oh, the multiplayer," but Doom has never, even before, it's never been like a strong multiplayer component. People back then would play Quake instead. That was the multiplayer game they would go to. People played Doom. Just to play Doom, right?
Yeah.
So I'm glad that the single player is like the star of the show instead of the multiplayer. Also, the multiplayer isn't made by id.
Yeah, you were saying that.
Yeah, it's made by Raven Software. Those are the guys. I don't know if any of the stuff they've done recently, but the last thing I remember them doing was Quake 4, which came out on the 360. It was a launch game and it was terrible. So what's interesting is that the single player kind of like goes back to like what a first person shooter used to be, and the multiplayer totally opposite direction. It plays like it's got like loadouts and stuff like that, which is not something very Doom-esque.
Yeah.
It's very much trying to be the modern shooter.
Mm-hmm.
So, in a game where people thought that the multiplayer would be a thing, it's interesting seeing it be the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
So, aside from Doom, which I've been doing that for 2 days only, I finished JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Stardust Crusaders.
Which
second
he just
season.
On, right?
No, which he just finished up.
I'm sorry.
We finished it at the same time. And the week before, we had told each other, go get up to this part, and then we'll start watching Diamond is Unbreakable together.
Yeah.
And like I had a crack itching to watch Diamond is Unbreakable. So no. What we did is me and Donnie started watching Kotetsujo no Kabaneri, which is the Kabaneri.
It's so good.
Of the Iron Fortress, but made by the guys that made Attack on Titan.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that to me.
Very well animated, super nice fight scenes. I really like it. It's so sad that there are only 6 episodes out right now.
It's the same general concept where they're like humanity's like surviving
in one place.
Yeah, surviving
humanity
against
is
a threat.
super fucked, and something's attacking us.
Okay, I might check that out. You said 6 episodes.
Yeah.
That's an anime I can totally get into.
Oh well, it's still ongoing.
Yeah, but like it's fresh right now.
Yeah.
So 6 episodes.
And it has something that isn't done too often in that it has 3 layers of shading. So there's light shading, medium shading, and then dark shading. So everything looks a lot nicer.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
Okay.
it looks really
It's
nice.
very different from
Yeah.
what people usually expect from anime.
Oh yeah,
Cool.
And then we saw one episode of Sosei no Onimuji, which is the Twin Star Exorcist. I didn't like that anime.
Wasn't that
I prefer to read it.
Wait, isn't that like a Cartoon Network thing?
No.
I think it was something else then. Okay.
That was Blue Exorcist, wasn't it?
Blue Exorcist.
Blue Exorcist
was
did
on,
come
yeah, it was on.
Okay, because I saw a commercial for it fucking somewhere. I don't know what it was.
Again, when that Blue Exorcist is probably the same way that I feel about Ben, like or Ben feels about Sosei, like
Sosei no, yeah.
yeah, because I started reading Blue Exorcist. And then I saw the anime, and I fucking hate it. I hate it so much. And that the manga is so good, so it makes me mad that the anime is
so bad.
Yeah,
That's why you should watch The World God Only Knows.
Don't even bother.
Watch it.
Don't bother with
I
that
already
dumpster
told
trash.
you, like I would start the world that God only knows when you read the Holy Quran.
No,
Because, you know, this is the.
It's a very
trade-off.
spiritual episode. This week.
I'm good enough with my Nilla wafers.
That needs protected.
So what about you, Dan?
Well, I haven't played much.
Okay.
I started getting back into Crypto the Necro Dancer.
Oh, sweet, love that game.
That's a good game.
Yeah,
Super good music.
it's always a nice game. And earlier on in the week, I downloaded one of the free games for PS Plus called Tropico 5.
Oh, Tropical 5?
Yeah.
I love. I played Tropical on there.
So what is that? I saw that it was installed, but I started and went, huh?
It's
I'm
like,
off to do.
It's like half economy.
Yeah.
It's sort of like
I think-
Civ, but
yeah.
like
Think cross between Civ and SimCity.
yeah.
It's like resource management,
Yeah.
but I barely keep my people alive long enough to
reap
accomplish
the
my
rewards.
goal.
It has a learning curve.
Yeah.
It does, but I like it a lot. I used to have I have a friend. I have a friend. His name's Gus that I used to work with a long time ago, and like the dictator on the Tropical cover looks exactly like him. So one of these days I'm gonna Photoshop his face into that cover.
Only thing is that during the tutorial, I didn't know this, but in like rare cases, some people will get a bug where the tutorial will just stop progressing.
Oh,
So,
wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I was stuck on the tutorial for like 2 hours, not knowing what the hell to do.
And then you decided, fuck this.
Yeah, I decided, fuck this game, and then I looked it up. I'm like, oh,
It's a bug.
just turn
That
it off
sucks.
and on again.
Sir, can you go ahead and turn that modem off real quick?
I already did it. Just so we're here. We have it written down. Could you please do it for me?
Aside from that, I've been watching anime with Benny and everything.
Cool.
Alright.
Yeah.
Alright, Todd, what about you?
Well, I'm almost done with my second playthrough of Uncharted 4.
Okay.
This is on the hardest difficulty, which is I forgot what it's called. Jesus, crushing. But it's taking me a lot longer just because I'm now using the photo mode. I think I talked about it a little bit last week. I have like upwards of 5 gigs of photography.
Oh crap!
I love taking pictures. This is what I use Tumblr for, to upload just screenshots that I mess with.
Okay,
But literally each picture, like some of them, I spent like literally 10 minutes on them, like switching up all the just changing everything, and I love doing that. So aside from that, I actually haven't been playing much. I've kind of just been catching up on podcasts and doing some live stuff. I did. What the heck did I watch this week?
So I'm gonna start giving you homework.
Okay.
By homework, I mean stuff to watch. And your first homework is Kotetsu Journal Cavaneri.
Well, okay. Well, you gotta spell that out for me.
He'll text you the name.
But this week I did watch Vikings.
Okay.
I watched the first episode and I'm like halfway through the first season. Like that a lot. I
I
like
think
that
I have
enough.
a cousin that was saying
Yeah,
that
and he
it
was
pretty
super
good.
into it. He told me like if you like Game of Thrones, you like Vikings. I was like, but it's from the History Channel. How good can that be? It's good.
Surprisingly
Yeah, it's surprisingly good. These like a lot of these shows are getting better at being just not cringy.
Are you saying that the History Channel is innovating their shows?
Oh no, they've never been innovative. Most of the History Channel is bullshit, actually.
Yeah, the
Aliens.
The History Channel has really devolved.
Yeah, over time.
Like now, I think it's like in history 3 or 2 that they actually have
Do
like
history
documentaries and shit. Because they had to make room for the wicked tuna.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. That was Discovery, wasn't it?
I think
crab
so.
fishing.
Extreme crab fishing.
Extreme.
You know what I do like on the History Channel? They have a night show.
Crab
They
fishing.
have a late night show with Craig Ferguson.
Wait, is that them?
Yeah, that's the History Channel. It's called Something or Die, Join or Die, I think, with Craig Ferguson. And so it's not like sometimes they have like B celebrities on it, and like maybe like A celebrities, but it's not like they don't interview them. They just talk about history stuff and like trivia, which is kind of cool. Never seen an episode, but from everything I've seen,
You like the concept?
I like the concept of that because late night TV is not for me anymore. I used to watch it a lot when I was younger.
You like the innovation?
This whole thing is gonna theme out to
Innovation.
Innovation cast.
We're not going right into the topic though. Like, you know.
No, I know. I'm just.
Wait, let's innovate though. Let's go.
Let's go right to the topic.
Let's innovate though.
Okay, at this point we're tossing around the word innovation like love. Well, how about let's not innovate and let's just go straight into the news.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's go ahead and do that.
What's on the docket?
On the docket, well, we got a couple things, not a lot. There's 1, 2, 3. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I smell.
What's wrong, friend? Is there something wrong?
It smells. I showered before you guys came, but it did not smell.
That's one of our topics.
That's truly some innovation.
One of our news items is that
Todd smells.
Jesus. I was wondering, like, did I forget to write this whole thing out and just added 2 words?
Oh, man.
Okay.
That's pretty good. That's some good stuff in there.
Watch, one of these days I'm gonna have this out like way early, and you guys are just gonna fuck with it and like change everything. I'm not even gonna look at it in the day we record. I'm like,
you know, the next level from here is somewhere between a news story. You gotta put something in there. Just put like a run-on sentence that just doesn't make sense.
please don't do that.
Oh, that's the next level.
I could do the one for Bruce Almighty, where
I
it's
like that.
I like do the cha cha. I like to cha cha like a little girl.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
It's not a lot. It's a little. Let's try to get through it. So there's going to be some E3 news because E3 is the thing that's happening soon. Like what, like 3 weeks from now?
Yeah.
Yep. So this is kind of not really news. It's kind of just like, well, expected. Sony has come out and dated their E3 conference. So they're one of the only, like, well, of course they would be one of the only like publishers that still has a traditional kind of conference. It's going to be the same time slot that they've always had Monday. In this case, Monday, June 13th at 6 p.m. Pacific. So that's going to be 8 p.m. for us. It's always the latest one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because usually it's like Microsoft's second.
Yeah.
No.
I think last year it was Microsoft first, wasn't it?
No. Okay, yeah, maybe it was Microsoft first, then EA, then Ubisoft, or the other way around, and then in the evening it was that. But now we're not going to have EA.
Yeah.
So it's literally just Microsoft, Ubisoft, and
Something soft.
Sony.
and Sony. That's about it.
Sony soft.
Microsoft.
Was it Bethesda was gonna have their
Sunday.
conference Sunday?
Yeah, and Square Enix has a thing on. Oh no, EA has their thing on Sunday too.
Yeah. Okay.
Weird.
Yeah. Also has. Yeah.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
I wonder. This makes me wonder. Like, this is probably a topic we can talk about some other time, but it makes me wonder how relevant like E3 is to the publishers, because if they're doing stuff outside of E3, it's like,
Yeah.
you know, like Nintendo, they were the first ones to do it. Like, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Also, being at E3 is expensive.
Yeah.
You know.
True.
But yeah, so that's gonna happen on Monday, June 13th. Usually, you can find a stream of it somewhere. Last year, the year before, they had like certain theaters like nationwide where you could go watch it.
For real?
Yeah, that was super cool.
That's
They had like
interesting.
lanyards and shirts and stuff.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, none of the first 2013. I checked and the closest one was Dallas. I'm like, no, well that's not gonna happen. But yeah,
Road trip.
Yeah.
road trip.
Road trip.
All right, second piece of news. It's actually, this is a kind of like I think it's an interesting conclusion. So you guys remember that Game Trailers closed like a month or two ago? And they fired, the company that acquired them fired the staff, and well, since then they have created their own kind of YouTube thing. And they actually have it's called Easy Allies. And so now they have, the patrons like at 40,000 or something, which is impressive. So people like them. People did like them. I'm not saying I didn't, but I rarely went to them as of recent.
Yeah.
They had some good stuff a long time ago. But so IGN, everyone's favorite media place to go to for games, has acquired the rights to Game Trailer's name and the content library. And so basically what they're going to do is just keep the site's content available on YouTube.
That's cool.
It's pretty cool.
But they're not going to be making like new stuff.
Well, I don't know, because well, it's a possibility. But for now, they've just started uploading like from the Game Trailers archives to YouTube, to the YouTube channel. Because back then, like when Game Trailers was like the only website that had high quality game trailers, so all they did was post game trailers. But once other like companies like IGN and GameSpot started coming in and doing their own original content, is when they tried to hop on board that. Their video quality stuff was always better than IGN's and GameSpot's overall. But yeah, so like I said, they've already started uploading stuff to the channel. And actually the channel has over 500,000 subscribers, which is not, if you think about it in the overall, it's not a lot, but a lot of these channels don't have a lot of subscribers,
Yeah, I mean,
it's YouTube. YouTube, the individual person is who has the subscribers, so that's kind of impressive for who they are. But Danny, you just asked if like they're gonna start doing new stuff. Let me see. Okay, so I didn't add that here, but so IGN will complete that archival process next month. But they also noted that they're going to not just do that; they're going to continuously just add just a straight game trailer to the site, and that they might start uploading like original content.
Oh, okay.
But I feel like that kind of I don't know. I feel like they don't need to do that.
I mean,
IGN is its own thing. That's where they upload their content to.
It's true, but like if like why buy the actual why buy game trailers if they're not gonna do anything with it?
With the title.
Yeah.
That's true. With 500,000 subscribers, that's still a bit of a profit, maybe, depending on how much they bought.
Possibly,
yeah. But that's awesome, because you never hear about that kind of stuff happening.
It's good that the archive is staying relevant, because you don't want to lose that sort of thing for like historical purposes.
Documentation.
I used to love GameSpy's Debriefing, which is a game. Remember GameSpy, right?
Yeah.
So their website had an awesome podcast called GameSpy. Goddamn, GameSpy Debriefings. And then when the site shut down, it disappeared. Can't listen to it anymore. And there was a website that I used to like going to called OneUp.com. Do you guys remember that site?
OneUp.
It was big.
Nope.
There was like their thing was the OneUp show, which was like prior to a lot of stuff like being like a 1 hour like live recorded kind of like talk show or whatever, super cool. And then they shut down and all their stuff, none of their stuff got archived.
Ooh.
It all disappeared. So if you go to the website now, the last news, because it like the front page is still there and you can listen and you can read the stories from the front page, but that's about it. The last like news item was like the original Bayonetta coming out.
Oh, crap.
I think so.
Wow.
Yeah. That's crazy. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Alright, so the next item, which is something that you posted earlier in the morning, is about, this is a rumor thing, but there's no news, so we're gonna go ahead and go into the rumor mill. It's kind of dry right now. Resident Evil 7 might happen. It's a thing. So
Did I post about Resident Evil 7?
This morning. Did you forget?
This morning?
Yeah. It was you, right? It had to be you.
It wasn't me.
There's only 2 Garzas on my friends list, so it's you and your brothers. It was one of you guys.
Huh.
I know I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Alright. Sure. I'll take that credit.
So the very often correct industry insider by the name Dr. Sirkin Toto. So there's a lot of industry insiders that predict, or not predict, but like they have information on the stuff. The source may not be 100% like trustworthy, but then it comes out being true. In his case, he has come out with the truth a lot of times. Revealed on Twitter that Resident Evil 7 is apparently in development. He says that quote, the entire game will go back to Ari's history roots and essentially be a clean slate.
A horror game.
Yeah.
Huh,
You know,
nice.
but the rumors don't stop there. He also says that he's pretty confident that RE7 will be shown at E3, and he even revealed a particularly juicy addition to the dev team, which is going to be interesting. So
Hideo Kojima is now heading Resident Evil.
Oh God!
Guillermo del
Oh my
Toro.
God! If Hideo Kojima went to Capcom, I'm not into that at all. So designer Jordan Amaro previously worked at Kojima Productions on both PT and Metal Gear Solid 5, is on the team for the Resident Evil 7.
That's an interesting addition.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I think that at this point there's a lot of faith lost in the series. I know that Resident Evil 6 didn't sell particularly well either.
Oh, you mean Giraffe Blowjob 6?
Giraffe Blowjob 6.
No, it didn't.
It didn't sell well.
Have you seen that cover art?
The 6.
Oh yeah, I
It's
remember
like
now.
a giraffe getting a blowjob.
For number 6.
I have to look it up
Horrible.
again. Yeah, I remember that. It was dumb.
That thing's Mercenary was fun though.
Mercenary's always been fun.
Yeah.
They had added it first, like in Resident Evil 5 as a download, I think, and it was.
I think
liked
4
it.
had Mercenaries.
Four
also.
had
Did it?
Mercenaries.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I remember because you could run around as Krauser, the knife.
Four was the originator for
Closer.
Mercenaries, I believe.
It was an alright game.
Which one? 4?
Giraffe Blowjob
5.
6.
Oh.
Giraffe Blowjob.
That's 6.
5 wasn't that bad.
5 was
either.
okay.
That was
That's
alright.
where it started.
Shiva!
That's where it started.
That's
AI in
where
that game was terrible.
That's where you Chris Beefcakes like just punches a
Punching
fucking
the
boulder.
He injects a couple of things onto his thighs and he starts
Just
punching boulders to get it out of the way.
That made no sense.
I didn't.
Absolutely not make any sense.
I don't know. He was powered by friendship or something.
Chris Beefcakes Redfield.
He got into the Nilla wafer stash and
He was powered by Jesus.
he pushed the boulder away with his power of Jesus.
He ate a whole box of Nilla wafers.
That game ended with him and Shiva fighting Wesker on a volcano, right?
Yeah.
That's good stuff right
Wasn't
there.
that the one where even if you had a shotgun and you're point blank and you shot him, he did like the Matrix shit?
Yeah. No, before that, you guys were in an airplane, and then you fell out of it, and then you were on a volcano.
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous.
This reminded me a lot of JoJo.
Yeah. This happens in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Well, it's obviously more successful than Resident Evil.
And
But, yeah,
it's pretty big.
I think that...
I hope they do something good with 7. Because there's still a soft spot in my heart for Resident Evil.
What are your hopes expecting, though?
That it becomes less of a run and gun and more of like a survival horror game. Because that was the biggest fault of 6. Like ammo was just plentiful
all over the place.
There was like you feared nothing. Like in 4, which is like probably the most recognized game. Like you had to conserve ammo, you had to be smart about like positioning, and you had to like you were afraid of things because they would kill the shit out of you.
Even in 5, it was kind of still that way.
5 that they had it very similar, but I believe 5 is when they really like started going more towards it's a shooter.
Yeah,
like
it's definitely still felt that way.
It's a zombie shooter, and I would really like 7 to be like a legit survival horror game,
Like a more Silent Hill style.
Silent Hill is more of a psychological.
Silent Hill should stay in Silent Hill.
Also in Silent Hill,
well, I'm talking
you
about
always had handgun bullets.
I wish they would just reboot it completely and just call it Resident Evil again.
You think so?
You want like
reboot?
Yeah.
Like Doom.
like a remake of Resident Evil 1?
No, fuck that. We already have like 5 of those. We don't need more of those. Just a complete reboot. Let's not kill Wesker for like the millionth time. New characters. Forget about the mansion. Let's do something else. Reboot it completely. And if I were them, I would I would do some research and pay attention to what Visceral did with Dead Space.
I mean, Visceral, like Dead Space is like the top.
Dead Space was the new Resident Evil.
Yeah.
They nailed it. Granted, they had a lot of inspiration over the years, right? But they nailed it in one game.
Yeah.
So I think that they should take some inspiration from that. And I will play a new Resident Evil if it's interesting.
You know what? I'm gonna go completely kooky, and I want them to make Resident Evil 4 2.
Resident Evil 8.
No.
Like Final Fantasy 13 2.
Yeah, like 13 2 and 13 3 essentially. You know, I want that age main character Kun. The name escapes me right now.
Benny, 4 squared is 16, so you want Resident Evil 16.
I never said squared.
From 4, Leon Kennedy.
Leon S. Kennedy, okay. So I want young Leon S. Kennedy running around looking for Sheva. Let's just mash universes. Are you following the storyline? Because I'm fucking not. I don't
know. Typically, like, it's like there's the thing is that like it's only complicated if you make it complicated. The story is that Umbrella continually survives, makes different viruses, different
and go, haha, they can't stop us. Oh shit, they're trying to stop us.
Different people from the BSAA fight these different viruses. That's the story.
You don't need much more than that.
You don't need more than that. Like, it like each narrative makes it more complicated, but that's the baseline. Like Umbrella, new virus, BSAA members.
Wesker.
Stop.
Wesker.
Stop. Wesker.
How old is Wesker now? Like,
it technically didn't matter because Wesker was like semi-immortal.
Yeah.
As long as he injected stuff into his thigh.
Look, he outdid Jesus, so...
Jesus.
He has Nilla wafers.
He's gone completely in 6, if I remember.
He technically they kill him in 5. And 6 they introduced Son of Wesker.
Yeah, what's his name? Jason or something?
Jason Voorhees. Jason Voorhees, Son of Wesker.
And he like
not a good character.
They could have done better.
Yeah,
I think the idea of like a clone Wesker's son was interesting.
Yeah.
They could have done it way better.
But he has a heart of gold, and he's doing it all for his mama.
You know what? They did a good job with Resident Evil. Was it the new thing, Chronicles?
Revelations.
Revelations
is super good.
Revelations is really good.
With Barry. Was it Barry?
I forgot the name of the dude.
Yeah, it's Barry.
Barry.
Yeah, and he's looking for his daughter.
Moira.
There you go. I was trying to get Danny to go into Moira.
Don't have Jill also, right? No, it wasn't Jill.
No, it was Moira.
No, the
Ashley.
Redfield.
Claire.
Yeah, it was Claire and Moira, and then it was a little girl and Barry.
Yeah, right.
I don't remember the name of the little girl.
I never played the second one, but I heard the second one was not amazing, but it wasn't terrible.
First one was super fun.
Yeah.
Wait.
There's a Revelations 2.
Yeah, Revelations 2 is the one we're talking about.
Yeah, Revelations 2 is the good one.
Oh, that's the one we're talking about?
Yeah,
Revelations 2, the one with Barry?
How convoluted all this shit is to me.
Revelations 1 was maybe with Jill. I'm not too sure.
That was on the boat. It was with Chris Redfield. Yeah, the original Revelation. Am I thinking about a different game?
You're thinking about the one with boat zombies.
Yeah, isn't that Revelations 1?
They get a camera and they scan shit, and it's like, oh, you have 10% scan, and then you scan some other
Which
shit.
one was the one that we were playing?
That one was going back into the spooky stuff. What?
Which one was the one that we were playing where instead of like the spray, they take like herb pills?
That's 6.
That's 6.
That's giraffe blowjob.
Okay, that's giraffe blowjob.
And that's 4. 4 had herbs.
What I thought was cool is like...
Well, they all have herbs, but this one they turn them into pills.
Instead of
usually
sprays.
there's spray.
Yeah, that's true.
I think there are sprays in it still, but like... You get the herbs, you grind them up into pills, and you have like a little Tic Tac box that you just and you pop them. But the cool thing was
be careful.
If you had your ass severely beaten, you double tap it and you go, and you take, and it count as like 1.5.
Okay.
Or like 2. I'm sorry, 2.5 herbs, herb blocks.
So Revelations 2, they did a really good job with it. So there's actually there's a chance that Resident Evil 7 might not be complete garbage.
Sure, like I said, I think they need to go back to the. I'm assuming this is true. I hope they went back to the drawing board. 100%. New characters, new villains, Maybe you know what?
Western.
I think you know what? Maybe even get rid of the titular umbrella and do something different. Maybe that's a little too much.
The past one was Neo Umbrella, wasn't it? And we were like
that.
surviving umbrella scientists that decided to band together.
Even 5, which was try something.
Unicell. I think it was like a Unicell or something. Yeah, because I have a bag.
Tricell. Yeah, I've seen them. I've seen the Tricell bag.
I have that one somewhere.
The Tricell was supposed to it had potential to be different, but it turns out it was just Umbrella.
Yeah. It was Umbrella with a different name, wasn't it?
It was.
And then there's Neo Umbrella also, and we're also working on I forgot what it's called, like Operation Raccoon City 2.
Wait, no, what?
Weren't they?
No, you're talking about the shooter, the Umbrella Corps.
Was it Umbrella Corps?
It's called Umbrella Corps.
Umbrella Corps.
Yeah, they had it at PAX South this past year.
There you go.
It's a shooter. It's a straight up multiplayer shooter.
Yeah.
Garbage.
I
played it.
That's what the first one was, wasn't it? Umbrella Corps Operation Raccoon City.
No, that one was just called Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City.
Oh, okay.
That one was not. It was a shooter, but it was just trying.
It's a third-person actiony shooter.
Yeah, that was like just completely dissolved
Straight
any kind of horror or anything like that. That one wasn't very good either. Interesting concept, but not very good.
I wanted that one to be good.
I wanted it to be good too. I bought the collection edition for that shit.
The $10 is fucking nice.
It was cool.
And that $10 is fucking nice.
It came with the patches too. The patches were cool. But I sold it to my cousin for face value. Like I'm gonna back.
Oh.
Sorry, Josh. But I hope if that's true, I hope that it's good, because I'm ready for AAA horror to be a thing again.
AAA horror is so far gone.
Yeah, it is. At the same time, I would hope that it would have been visceral in New Dead Space, but they're working on Star Wars stuff. So.
The only hope that I have right now is Allison Road.
You gotta look at indies if you want to go into horror.
Sure,
nowadays.
You're right. Stuff like Allison Road and like Outlast 2 and stuff like that.
Isn't Allison Road technically AAA now since it got picked up?
Oh, that's right.
It did get picked up.
By who though? Who was the publisher?
Bethesda.
Huh?
Bethesda.
Oh,
not Bethesda.
I thought you said Disney. I'm like, fuck, are they Disney? They just dissolved all their gaming shit, so they're not gonna get into that.
Allison is a dragonborn now.
Jeez.
It's gonna be a ghost that shouts Fus Roda.
That takes all the horror out of it, actually. Alright, let's move on. Hey man, you want me to sing that? I'll sing that. 2 more items. Also, this one is also, I think, E3 related. It's a bit. Squeenix has announced its plans for their show and teased some exciting Tomb Raider news.
Will they have a show?
Like for their E3 thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
So in a blog post this past week, Square Enix basically listed some of the games that will be playable at their booths, right? At their booth on the show floor. So these include... What is it?
I think Danny in his head was imagining like the Final Fantasy VII show or something.
Oh.
Because Danny went, wait, they have a show?
They have a show?
Usually last year, like everybody was all hyped because Final Fantasy VII remake and it turned out to be remaster and not remake, and then months later they were like remake.
Yeah. No, it was at PlayStation Experience like 2 years ago.
No, but what Danny wanted was like Chocobo Babies to show.
Oh gosh.
And it's Chocobo Babies
overcoming. Well, doesn't Square Enix have a show for the like a prequel kind of thing for Final Fantasy 15? No, they have a movie coming out.
Yeah,
like an animated movie. They got like some big actors.
They also have episodes. I actually haven't I saw the first one, but I haven't kept up to see if they have kept loading episodes for Final Fantasy 15.
So in the movie they have like Sean Bean and like Lena Headey.
They have
big actors.
Yeah. Oh wow!
Hopefully Sean Bean.
There's your show.
They're doubling
that's a movie.
down
That's a movie.
15. Like they're doubling.
Well, they
down
need
on
to.
15 so hard.
Oh man,
it's gonna.
And
be,
I mean, it's looking good.
It is, but they need to make like 500 million or some crazy amount off of this game. I don't think it's gonna happen. Maybe not in the first year. I don't know.
No, over time they could probably change it.
Yeah. So they're going all ham on that shit. But anyways,
I hope it becomes the new 7 because I need something better than 7.
I don't know.
I want Final Fantasy. If this guarantees at some point Final Fantasy Tactics, I'm down.
I just think they need more characters designs other than pretty boy J-pop.
I totally agree with you.
I mean, 15 is the J-pop team.
Yeah,
riding across the world.
The one thing that I liked about 15 so far
they
is
also have the mechanic.
True.
The one thing I like about 15 that attracts me to it more than any other games, it looks
the J-pop team.
No, it's like a road trip, and that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that idea because games don't have road trips.
Yeah,
I can argue that The Last of Us is technically a road trip.
I actually don't know why they're on the road trip. I just know it's the main character was considered a prince or something, and
they're going off to find
his true love,
Noxus's
true love.
fiance.
Yeah,
jeez,
there
really?
we
That's
go.
what it turns out to be. Why can't it be just a road trip and they run into shit?
Damn it! You know what I just realized?
What?
This is JoJo's fucking Bizarre Adventure. How they need to
gonna-
travel the world in a certain amount of days to get to a certain spot for
But then
plot continuation.
I guess. But like JoJo takes that from fucking everything. like that's not new.
I never said it was new. It was
I
just
hadn't kept up with Final Fantasy for a while, so when I saw that they were like in a modern ass car, I'm like, whoa, what the fuck?
Apparently it flies.
Did you see the modern NASCAR fly?
Yes, I did.
Alright, well, so they have Square Enix has a couple things for E3 this year. So on their show floor, they're going to be demoing the Deus Ex Mankind Divided, which I'm excited for. Hitman, the third episode for their latest episodic Hitman game, which I heard is pretty good. Haven't played it yet. Just Cause 3 DLC, which is called the Landmech Assault DLC. I like Just Cause, just not enough to buy it right now. And Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness. I used to like Star Ocean.
What?
the Star Ocean.
And
Just-
I am Setsuna.
I am Setsuna.
Don't know what that is.
That's a new thing that they're working on.
super recent thing.
I
I am
don't remember
Setsuna.
exactly what that was though.
I have no idea.
Wait,
what
what's
that is.
Star Ocean?
Star Ocean? It's
a new Star
it's a
Ocean.
JRPG. You never played Star Ocean's been around since like the Dreamcast.
Star Ocean's a
I've
very
never
old
played
game.
I think
I
it
like
has an online thing that's
I think- is
supposed to
that
be
the one-
super.
No,
good.
you're thinking Phantasy Star Online, I think.
Phantasy Star?
Yeah.
Wait, is Phantasy Star the one where you can now have 16 people
And the party?
in your party?
I think
maybe.
that may
Probably
be.
not
It was
sure.
either that or Star Ocean.
Yeah. So also playable at Square Enix's E3 booth will be some of their crowdfunding games. So now they're doing some more indie stuff, including games called The Turing Test and Black the Fall. Never heard of anything Turing Test? That sounds like Alan Turing, like
Yeah.
Alan, sound kind of like that. Okay, so additionally, Square Enix will again host a Square Enix Presents live show during which it will make announcements while developers also appear on the broadcast to talk about their games. So actually, there was no mention so far in regards to Square Enix holding their an official briefing like they did last year, because like last year was the first time that they had a legit briefing in a long time, I think.
I think they had another one the year before.
The year before, I don't remember. I think it might have been just a live stream, maybe. Not too sure. But it seems like for now, it's just going to be like an online show. So the blog... yeah, there's going to be some more details coming up. I think the one thing that they stretched on is that there's going to be a lot of new Tomb Raider news. And also detail on a few new games that their teams have been hard at work on that are not out yet. So, look, the only game I really care about here is Tomb Raider.
Well, you never played Chrono Trigger, but apparently...
I have.
Wait, did you?
Yeah.
Really?
I was the one who did. He's the one who never has, right?
I've
We
never
never.
I thought you didn't.
Both of us never played it.
I'm Setsuna as the Chrono Trigger S RPG. They had showcased it
Last year?
I think
last year.
Is it the one that's supposed to be on the PS4 and also on the 3DS, but the 3DS has a top-down
I think
That's
so.
two-screen
Cool.
system?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like an old school S RPG, and it's actually looking very pretty.
It looks
so,
that screenshot looks
Yeah.
pretty cool.
but it's very like turn-based.
Yeah.
You know.
I did.
Yeah.
I'll have some more information about
I
that
think it was
later.
also going to come out on the 3DS, and the 3DS had a top-down and then an 8-bit screen. So it's the
Wow.
same game, but you can look at it in different methods.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So there's going to be a lot of Square Enix stuff at E3 this year.
I mean,
There's some interesting stuff.
Square Enix is still a good.
Yeah,
so.
they're way more above water than Capcom.
Yeah.
So the only thing I had to say about this is that exciting Tomb Raider news better be that it's coming to the PlayStation 4, because at this point it's almost going to be a year, and I'm
have
sad
yet
that
to
I
see.
haven't played that game, and it's like, please just release it already.
Is it for PC?
It is for PC right now, but it's incredibly
Bad
demanding.
demanding.
It's a very demanding game.
I didn't hear anything bad about the.
No.
port. It's just that it's.
It's a good port. It's just a very demanding game.
Okay.
And so I want to play that. So it's gonna come down to two things for me. Either it gets to the point where I'm going to just upgrade my PC and buy it, or it's gonna come out on PS4. I really hope it doesn't come down to a year from now me upgrading my PC. And I'd rather just play on the PlayStation. But that's about it.
Yeah. No Final Fantasy news.
So I think that they're going to.
They're
going to talk about it.
I think they have to.
Because 7 is dated for
next year.
Yeah. And then 15 was supposed
late
to be
this year.
Late this year, yeah. So
yes, technically. Oh yeah. It's coming out in September.
Yeah.
So
something crazy like that. There may be more 15.
Hopefully, it's like an update on 15.
Yeah, that would be nice.
You know what? Some people who forgot about that, like you guys are totally into, like some people are. They didn't mention anything about Kingdom Hearts.
I'm not into Kingdom Hearts.
You're into Kingdom Hearts, right?
I know Kingdom Hearts.
You're into Kingdom Hearts.
I like Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
Some of the boss fights are cool, but I haven't followed that story.
I have a general knowledge about it.
Yeah,
it's really it is a bit strange that last E3 like they dropped the bomb on it.
I like what they did last E3 where like, oh, we have Kingdom Hearts news, mobile game. Once everyone was like nice and disappointed, like new Kingdom Hearts.
Also Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah. No, but do you remember last year it was like, let's talk about mobile.
Yeah.
Was it them or was it like EA maybe?
Yeah.
And it was
let's talk about mobile.
And then someone put, let's not.
But yeah, that's kind of it for. It's a lot of stuff from Square Enix. They're above water, like I said, so good for them.
Yeah.
And yeah. So the last bit of information we have, like I said, it was a slow week. Is to anyone here that listens that likes racing stuff, probably Mikey. I like some of this stuff. The PS4 exclusive Gran Turismo Sport will launch on November 15th in Japan and North America, and November 18th, for the UK. And this is their first new entry. This is their first next-gen entry in the Gran Turismo series. A couple of details. It's going to include 4 sets of cars made up of 137 super premium real-world and fantasy cars, which is to be expected. It will also include a livery editor, and a photo mode called Scapes, which will output at 4K resolution. That's awesome.
Oh shit!
A Twitter-esque timeline feature for events, and there will also be an yet unspecified companion app released alongside the game. Also, this is going to be the first Gran Turismo game to support VR. So yeah,
that's interesting.
I like Gran Turismo. I used to like it a lot. The only one I played significantly was 4, which is the last. No, there's 5 and 6 now, right? That was on PS2, and even then, Gran Turismo on PS2 looked incredible for the hardware. I have to play. This is something that I'll have to play though, because I've been out of the racing game for a long time. Also, some news I didn't add here: they scrubbed the demo to make sure the game released on time.
Really?
I don't know. I mean, what does that? I don't know if that tells you anything. At the same time, Polyphony has an incredible track record of making of making really good games. So maybe it's just like they want to get it out in time and not deal with a demo. Or maybe the game has had a troubled development cycle and they don't want to release a demo. There hasn't been. We rarely hear anything about Polyphony. They're not like a secret studio. You just don't hear about them until they come out with something. So I don't know, but that's coming out in November. I'll play it. No demo. I'll play it somehow first before I buy it. But if it looks good. Like the game looks ridiculously good. But then again, their games always have looked good. But maybe this is the year where they say we're going to take back. We're going to take back the throne from Forza, which Forza has been like the standard since like the 3rd game.
I'll go as far as watching someone play it.
They're fun. They're fun to watch people play for sure. I love like the 300 lap races.
Oh, the endurance race?
Yeah, I love them on Gran Turismo 4. Hell yeah!
Gus, my older brother Gus,
used to do that.
He loves Gran Turismo games.
Awesome.
Like he loves simulators more than
like
action street racers.
Yeah.
And I used to remember him trying to get the super licenses, if you remember those, that had strict ass rules. And you need to do this lap in this amount of time, and you can't go over the lines. You can't do this.
Yeah.
This turn you need to take it at this speed, and like
it's incredible.
A lot of red tape, I guess you could say, it was on it, and like the endurance races where you'd spend 2 hours in a race. Yeah. Just fucking going.
There were some days during the summer where I wake up and get like a bowl of cereal and like, all right, get ready to get this, do this an hour and a half race. Yeah. It used to be fun.
I remember Gus's game had frozen in the middle of one of them.
No, it's like 30 minutes in.
No, it was like an hour and some in, and it froze, which meant like,
it's over.
You're gonna have to do it again. Yeah, I think he stopped for that day because he was like, oh, shit. Yeah. That was my objective of the day, the game froze.
That sucks, dude.
I'll stick to Mario Kart, thank you.
Yeah, you know what? I'll stick to Mario Kart.
The thing about simulators is that they just offer an incredible wealth of content compared to like a Need for Speed.
Oh, that's one of the reasons why Gus likes it. Gus loves messing with the power ratios and just messing with every little thing you can mess with to make the car your ideal version.
And you see, that's what Gran Turismo does good. The thing that Forza does good is car customization from an aesthetic perspective. So they can bring... I don't know... Gran Turismo never had something like that. Like
Not really. It's usually like you want to work on the engine. You want to mess with stuff like that contributes to your output. Not, hey, you want to put stickers on your car and make it look badass.
This one is called Sport. So maybe they'll have that kind of like aesthetic editor. That'd be cool.
At the most that I remember for aesthetic looks is you could take your car to a car wash in Gran Turismo, and like it'd spin around real fast and it'd stop, and it was super shiny. And
I think in part 4 that they had like a pre-selected color editor. You could just switch the base colors of the car, and that was it.
You could choose from like a palette of matte colors.
Yeah, that was it, and that was kind of.
I don't think you even got like body types or anything.
The car was the car you fucking got. But so.
But that being said, they also had the really nice, super high end cars that came as they're supposed to be, but like they're immaculate. They looked beautiful.
Oh man, I'm thinking about it. You know what I loved about Forza, at least older Forzas, that they had this like a look back in history mode where it would take you to like real races and real locations with real cars that took place like between like 1930 and 1970, and like it would have like a sepia kind of like look to it, and they would even have commentary about like the racers and stuff. Super cool. I don't think they ever did that again after like Forza 3, but it was really cool.
Cool concept.
It's an interesting concept. It'd be cool if these guys did that, but I don't think they're into that. I don't know. I'm not excited about the game. It's the kind of thing, well, if it looks good and I like it, I'll probably pick it up. Because every once in a while, I want to play like a racing game just for shits and giggles. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. We'll see. I wonder if Mikey's into that. No, Mikey's into like street racers.
Yeah, he prefers the customization.
He was trying to push sport, I think, or whichever one was going to appear on the VR.
Yeah, Gran Turismo Sport. This one's also going to be on VR.
Yeah, he was saying like that one was looking really good, and I mean,
yeah, it does.
I can't see like that. That's the ideal way you would play a racing game.
Yeah,
inside the actual.
I mean, racing games have always been meant for VR. I think more than any other game type.
There are those people who like the
cockpit view.
Yeah,
that's how I would play it.
That and Ace Combat for the VR was looking phenomenal.
Ace Combat's gonna be sick.
Oh
I used to have the official 360 racing wheel. I spent like 2 months worth of fucking allowance.
I think Gus had a racing wheel for what? For the
PS1?
PS1 and the PS2.
Wow.
I think PS2 also.
I think so.
You know what I used to play a lot of? I used to play a lot of Test Drive. You guys remember that game?
Test Drive.
No. It was like the cheap version of Need for Speed.
I remember one called Driver.
Yeah, well, Driver wasn't a racing game. It was an open world.
Well. Yeah.
Kind of game. The game went downhill. It was the third one. Oh my god, Driver 3 was like this massive thing when I was in middle school, and then it was one of the worst games ever made. It tried to be GTA but failed. Oh, but the more recent one's called Driver San Francisco, which is a really weird game but did really well. And it's basically you're this cop that's in a coma and his soul can go from car to car. Weird, but a lot of people do like it. Yeah.
What was that name of that one car game that we would always play where you're like a stunt car driver?
It's called Stuntman?
No. It's like we only played multiplayer mode because
Okay.
Yeah. We only played multiplayer games back in the game, but back in the day. But Chase.
There you go.
It's called Chase.
Yeah. The cool thing about it is if you had music saved onto your Xbox, you could play your music in it.
Oh yeah.
You'd make a custom little playlist, and then you'd play. And we'd play. I think it was called Tag or It, and one person was it, and we'd all pick the same type of car, and we drive around.
Yeah,
like a circuit, and we tried to smack the crap out of each other.
That's cool. I miss Burnout Paradise.
Burnout.
I
Burnout
love
was nice.
Burnout Paradise.
Burnout was pretty cool.
And then that company got folded, I think. Whatever. Well, that's it for the news. Cool.
Where are we?
1 hour.
You know what? That's not that bad because I think
that bad.
Our topic we could maybe push it to like a nice 30 or 20.
Sure.
And that might come out all right.
Yeah.
We're getting closer to that 1 hour podcast.
I missed the last bit of news though, where Todd smells.
Oh, great.
Oh,
the last topic for discussion.
Oddly enough, I have an updated screenshot. Hold up, give me a second, guys. Let me open up this document.
Go ahead.
Todd smells.
Yeah.
In other news,
That's
Todd
how
smells.
Yep.
Todd smells.
I smell.
Good.
That's the twist at the end.
There you go.
The studio. No, it's not. We're reopening the studio. We're giving pizza.
Lionhead is open again, guys. Everything is all right.
Everything's all right.
Fable
right?
7 confirmed.
Jeez. Fable 7? So they skipped 4?
No. They're releasing them all
at
at
the same
once.
time?
Yeah. You wanted 4, you get 5, you get 6, even 7. They're all coming out.
But 6 is a Vita game only.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're on the ball.
There you go.
You know what's happening.
Yep. And 7.5 is the VR game.
6.23 Final Fantasy Remix.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one everyone wants.
Yeah.
6.23.
For the Game Gear.
Yeah.
All right.
For the Game Gear.
We do have a topic, but we're gonna take a little break. So we will be back.
You know what I noticed?
What?
We haven't said a single thing about Marcos this whole.
Yeah, you did. We talked about.
Yeah.
At the beginning, we talked about Marcos for like a minute and a half.
Marcos and the case of vanilla wafers.
Oh, hi Marcos. How are you doing?
Halfway through the podcast that you're listening to.
Right.
Welcome to the halfway point of the podcast. Vanilla wafers are Satan's friends.
Of course they are.
Okay, that's the tangent I wanted to go on.
You're welcome to.
You know what? Well, we broke the list of not talking about Satan because we
By
made
a
a
mile.
whole list.
They made an entire like literally the first half of this section of the podcast is about Satan's friends.
Yep.
Yes, it is. We should move on now. The topic was one that Benny brought to us in form of a video by the Shoddycast about more or less about innovation in gaming.
Yeah, contrary to popular belief, our topic is not about Satan's friends.
Yeah. Well, it's at some point it will be, maybe in the future. If the gaming thing doesn't go out, Satanism.
If we're lucky.
That's the good old backup we have ready.
That's the plan B.
There's an audience for that somewhere. Where to start? So the video was about Doom.
Doom and Star Fox Zero.
Doom and Star Fox. So basically, I think that I don't know if I should be the one explaining this, but basically, who's the guy in the narrator? What's his name?
I'm sorry, that escapes me.
Okay, the guy from Shoddycast, some dude from Shoddycast, basically came out and talked about how Doom, is basically it's the new Doom, which we talked about at the beginning.
2016 Doom is
Doom
what
2016.
I've been hearing people labeling it that.
Because it's not called Doom 4. People still call it Doom 4. Is basically not. It's a shooter. It's not trying to be anything else but a shooter. It's not trying to be innovative, but in itself, the game, the developers behind it probably just understood, let's make a good game. And while they were channeling nostalgia, again, like I said, they weren't trying to be anything else but that. And he's saying how he wishes developers would see to that in the future instead of trying to be innovative and trying to be gimmicky, because in the end, a lot of that doesn't necessarily pan out very well. And the example he had for that was Star Fox Zero, which is a new Star Fox game. A lot of people, I think, buying it on the pretense of nostalgia, but end up noticing that the game is trying to be a lot more, and it doesn't execute it well, specifically with the controls, which I know is a huge problem with the game. That's something noted very well in most of the reviews. So what do you guys think about that?
Well, I guess we can start by explaining in a little more detail, like the innovation between the innovation lacking in Doom, and then the attempted innovation in Star Fox. So in the video, as Todd had pointed out, we basically see that Doom does not try to be new in any way.
Okay.
It basically is the original Doom with a coat of very modern paint on it. And despite this, it is a game that is currently given a lot of praise, and for good reason, because it is a satisfying shooter. And that's what it tries to be. Like the original, it's trying to be very violent, heavy, fast. FPS.
Yeah, kind of no bullshit kind of thing.
No bullshit, no fluff.
Yeah.
And it does this incredibly well.
Yeah.
So.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. Well, I was just gonna say, compared to something like Star Fox, which actually has a tried and true formula.
Yeah.
But Nintendo decided that it wasn't going to be enough, and they instead decided to attempt to innovate.
Push this new innovation.
Push new innovation when they didn't have to. Like, there was no... As they detail it in the video, which we'll link in the description, obviously. They had no problems to solve. Like, if Star Fox, I want to say, just the way that it has worked for the past several iterations, minus a few exceptions.
Adventures. Maybe.
Yeah. It's really... it's stuck to the same formula, and the formula has worked. I want to say the 3DS version of the Star Fox game, which had Crystal in it. I forgot what it was called. Star Fox Wars or something? Lilac Wars? Something like that?
For the 3DS or for the original DS?
It might have been for the original.
I think it was for the original DS. Because the only one that came out on the 3DS was the remake of the 64 version. I think.
And that might be the one I'm thinking of. But basically they followed the same formula as the original Star Fox that came out on the SNES. Where, it's...
you remember playing that one?
It's space shooter. It's fun space shooter with interesting animal characters.
Animal Muppets.
Except for Peter.
And they, to their detriment, they tried to make it a little too different in Star Fox Zero. Now, unfortunately, I haven't played the game, so I cannot attest to this personally, but I have heard a lot of people just going on about how the controls aren't intuitive, and it doesn't feel like a good Star Fox game, and despite it, I know Todd would disagree, but I kind of like the visuals of Star Fox, of Star Fox Zero. I think the sprites that they used for the actual characters are a little bit weird, but I understand.
You're talking about when they're talking the actual character, or you're talking about the ships?
The actual character.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The bosses and the ships and all of the
actual
aesthetic,
world,
the world.
It's very colorful too.
Yeah. It's colorful. It looks cool, but obviously that wasn't enough to please the Star Fox fans.
Which is interesting. I know this is going a little off topic, but a lot of Star Fox fans say, at least it's a vocal, it's a very vocal group, and they're like, we want more Star Fox, and then they get more Star Fox, and they want innovation, but then it's not very good, and then I think a lot of them revert to saying, I just wish I had old Star Fox again. I don't know. I feel like that it goes back and forth between a lot of different subgroups within that fandom,
and I think that's the problem. It wasn't that the Star Fox people do want innovation, right?
Yeah.
I think people who play Nintendo games, they do want some innovation in their nostalgia machine, right? But they want it done right, and that's sort of where Nintendo failed with Star Fox Zero.
Yeah.
They didn't do it correctly.
They're just kind of saying come on guys, the controller screen, it's good, we promise.
Push it harder.
I feel like for the longest time with the Wii U, and the Wii U is a good example of gimmick, really, that they've been trying to push those controls since the beginning of its life cycle, which of course, understandably so, but it's not very good. But yeah, I think it's interesting how so now we can probably go back a little bit to Doom, and how Doom doesn't do any of that, and yet it's getting praised. It's Benny really enjoys it. I like the way it opens, which is literally it doesn't try to set up a narrative or anything like that. If anything, the narrative is very paper thin, but it's enough.
To tell the truth, there is narrative, but it's like
background noise.
No, you just look around for a quick 3 or 4 seconds, okay, this is happening.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you go into the next room. So this is really happening. Let's continue.
Yeah, basically how it opens up is you're strapped down or you're in cryosleep or something, right? And it's there's a computer screen nearby. It's demonic takeover,
detected closing all areas.
Yeah, in process or something, and then
beginning quarantine.
You grab a gun within the first couple seconds of the game, and you shoot a demon in the head or this.
If you want, man, you're more than welcome. Once we finish this, to go and just start the first mission at my house. It's crazy.
Yeah,
and it reminds me a lot of this old game. What is it called? Serious Sam.
Yeah,
kind of.
Yeah,
Serious Sam doesn't really have a story where you just kind of shoot shit.
Game is an arena shooter. You just shoot a bunch of stuff.
They're mobs and mobs of enemies and stuff.
But it kind of goes hand in hand with that. There's games like that and Duke Nukem stuff who over the years.
A lot of the older shooting games,
just old school arena shooters, fast paced stuff, and there are newer Serious Sams and stuff like that, and none of them particularly hit the mark. I don't know. I feel that Doom is an interesting in the episode of that video that we saw. It's definitely an interesting argument to say we don't always need innovation. We just need good games.
Yeah.
And that's a good example. But like I said earlier before we actually started, which we probably just should have recorded that. I talked about how Wolfenstein, which is another Bethesda published game. At first, a lot of people were thinking, well, I'm not sure if we really need another Wolfenstein. It's an old game. It's a classic.
Will it still blend in with today's modern...
It's actually considered the grandfather of FPS games. And, they thought, well, we don't necessarily want more Wolfenstein. And what I think that game was able to do very well is,
show us that we did want more Wolfenstein.
That it was able to do the nostalgia thing. You can dual wield rocket launchers in that game. That's ridiculous. But... it innovated from the narrative perspective. It gave a voice to B.J. Blazkowicz. There were interesting characters. There was a world, and there was a message there. And that's not no one expected that, and no one expected it to be good. So I think that's an example of innovation, real innovation done correctly. But of course, like I said before, it's a 50-50 thing. You don't know if your innovation is going to
absolutely hated it.
Yeah, exactly. People, I'm pretty sure there might have been a very small minority of people that didn't like it.
Another one being Metro's Other M, when they gave Samus a voice, and people absolutely hated it.
Here's the thing with that. The problem was that they in Other M, which it's unfortunate to talk about because it really
you should really put that on your list.
It fails. It fails expectations. It really does.
That was the Ninja Gaiden developer one, right?
Yeah. Team Ninja.
Interesting choice.
They made Samus out to be a frightened little girl the entire way through.
Really?
When the literally, like, and I understand, like, they're trying to detail her origins and how, the thing is that, like, the Samus that we know is not a scared,
hardened fucking badass.
Hardened, like, she is the most badass, just, like,
Space bounty
hunter that you have ever seen, and she will kick your ass. Like, there's only one instance in which you ever see Samus frightened in the old games, and that is in
the
Fusion.
Return of Ridley.
No, Fusion.
In Fusion.
Yeah, remember when she is powerless? Like they take her Varia suit and it becomes corrupted and it starts hunting her down.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I thought you were talking about. I think it was a comic when she sees Ridley for a second time, but she had already killed Ridley and she loses her fucking mind for a couple of seconds because something she killed that had killed her entire family was standing in front of her, and they were alive, and like she goes crazy for a little bit.
I suppose that would be
a moment.
A moment.
Yes.
Like that. Like. I suppose it's because it's outside material, but I guess it's still part of the
canon.
Yeah, so
I remember one of the complaints that they had is that in order to get like new equipment and stuff, like some higher up will give you permission to use it and
to justify that.
Yeah, and people were like, "No, she doesn't answer to anybody." Blah blah blah.
Yeah, which is true. Like the entire thing, like she doesn't answer.
And I mean,
she finds her equipment.
Power-ups.
She uses that herself, and she doesn't take orders. She's a bounty hunter, and that's one of the failures of Metroid. And like I said, like the only time though you ever see Samus scared is in Fusion when she's being chased down by her own suit.
Yeah,
and that fear is your fear. Yeah. It's like you're like. I actually think like that game has a very strong sort of like what am I trying to say? You feel like the character.
You relate to it.
Not just relate to it. Like you know how like the silent protagonist, like you're supposed to be the silent protagonist. Yeah, it's supposed to be. I feel like that game does it really well because you're the one who's afraid. But you by the way how you throw around Samus in that situation, it's also her fear, and that's and that game, it's one of Nintendo's best, and Other M, which did try to innovate, failed, but because they innovated wrong. But the thing is that it wasn't even really a mechanical innovation that they tried to.
That was a narrative
innovation.
It was a failure of narrative that they put forth. Compared to something
think that's also why they're so scared to ever even think about giving Link a voice.
It's possible.
They're so.
I think that's a justified kind of concern too.
Yeah.
I mean, throughout the entirety of the games, Link never speaks.
At most, he makes yas.
Yeah.
Because you are Link, right? But I think that... Go ahead, sorry.
No, go ahead.
And I know that, like, BJ Blazkowicz is not, like, a Link, but they gave him a voice. And which was, I think it's still a little weird, but, like, he has interesting things to say. Like, generally, it worked very well. So I can imagine if done right, they could do that for Link too.
Oh, and this is a little old. Spoilers for Wolfenstein.
Go ahead, please. People had time to play this game and they didn't. That's their fault.
I haven't, but you know what? Please go on.
I figured out why.
No, it's completely fine.
I figured out why you didn't see Jimi Hendrix.
Okay.
It's because at the beginning you saved the older guy.
Yeah, I say yeah.
If you save the younger guy,
I never got to
Jimi Hendrix appears in your
that's crazy
your place. Yeah.
I didn't replay the game. I should have replayed because I lent it to Sam and he never finished playing it. Of course he didn't.
So yeah, like in Wolfenstein is a really interesting case. I feel because it's
an anomaly.
Their innovation isn't like mechanical.
No, it's not.
Their innovation is narrative.
Yeah, and I would say that the mechanical stuff it harkens back to what Wolfenstein was once, you know.
Right. And it does still feel like a Wolfenstein.
Oh yeah, it does.
Like you fight Nazis. There's a lot of supernatural stuff. Yeah. You know, Mecha Hitler.
Oh, at one point you go to the dark side of the moon.
Yeah. So, also Satan's friends, by the way.
Micah Hinder?
The Nazis on the dark side of the moon.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's the thing. That's awesome.
So, compared to something like Star Fox Zero, where their innovation tried to be mechanical, narratively, the game is exactly the same as the first one.
Yeah.
But their mechanical innovation failed. Now, whether this is because they tried to be a little too ambitious, or just because they're just like they're trying to innovate for the sake of innovation, which is one of the arguments in the video, is up for debate. You know, because there's it's true. Like innovation for the sake of innovation sometimes it
breeds
falls
wrong
flat.
things.
Yeah, it falls flat. But at the same time, we need innovation. Like we need people to strive to innovate.
No one likes still crackers.
Pretty much.
Still in Illinois.
But like,
Still
if people don't innovate, then we don't move forward.
We don't progress.
We don't progress.
And I think that in the past, 5 or 6 years, we see that innovation within the indie circles. Since a lot of AAA developers, and I understandably so to some extent, there's a lot of money that goes into AAA development, are afraid of that innovation. Indie devs are not, and they'll go for it because they have nothing to lose technically, from that like technical perspective, and a lot of good has come out of that. And I think that nowadays indie games and the like, and that like power that they have, with the narrative and what they do, influences some AAA development. I'm pretty sure it does. So I'm not going to try to spoil anything, but. Didn't think I was going to talk about Uncharted 4, but Uncharted 4, it's always been like a shooter, right? It is a shooter inside out. People don't really play it for the shooting, people play it for the story. And in the fourth game, they introduce dialogue options in some conversations, something that they've never introduced before. It only comes up in a couple occasions, and that is not necessarily a good or bad thing. It's just like, it's a gimmick. It is a gimmick, right?
It's also technically not innovation.
It's not innovation, but I liked it because I think that the influence...
It was a small little shake-up.
Yeah. It's a small little shake-up, and the influence from indie games that try to be more personal with their characters, I think it might have influenced it in saying that let's give the audience more time with the characters so they can be fleshed out more, so they can understand the situations they're in. And as somebody who has invested in the characters... although it was completely unnecessary, I liked that it was there. So, and that's something in a AAA game. Also, there are like 5 or 6 non-combat like areas that you're doing. Something that you never see in an Uncharted game, So, I'm not saying that's not necessarily innovation, but that's moving forward. And if AAA developers don't do that, it becomes stale, like we just said. But you have to do innovation right, and we can't just. It's so easy for us to just say that, but it's not an easy thing to do.
It's very.
It's always easier said than done.
Exactly.
Like most inventions and discoveries of the 21st century happened by complete accident.
Yeah.
Like and these are things that this is like the crux of innovation. Like people find these out by accident. Like there's no formula for innovating. Like you have to fail in order to innovate.
Yeah.
And it's like it's not to say and like not to like apologize for Star Fox Zero in any way, because like it didn't turn out good, the Star Fox fans didn't like it, there may be redeeming qualities to it, but like they didn't do it right, so it didn't do as well as it could have. There's nothing more to say on that, but there's nothing wrong with them trying to have innovated on the series. In fact, it's good that they tried to innovate, because that means that next time should they consider
more Star Fox
games, they can see well, these were our mistakes.
Yeah.
Let's try. We don't have to innovate in this way. Maybe we can do it some other way. Yeah. Maybe this way works. Maybe that way works.
And also, it's interesting because like in the video, also talks about Nintendo overall and how they've been it's almost in air quotes sarcastically. This is like innovators, and to their credit, they do things differently than Sony and Microsoft. I don't know. They do things on a completely different level, right? They see the gaming landscape on a completely different level. But in terms of software, most of their like continuations and evolutions of like Mario and Donkey Kong, while some of them are very nostalgic, they pan out. Look at Super Mario Galaxy.
Yeah,
like, it's an incredible game.
They do things. They try and do things differently,
and they work a lot of the times. They nail it.
Yeah, you know? Like Star Fox is actually
an anomaly.
Star Fox Zero is an anomaly in the series because they do like excellent innovations.
Yeah.
Like they try their best to do right by gamers, and like they thought this one would be good, and it turned out it wasn't salvageable.
They took a chance with Pokemon a while back when they started implementing friggin' Mega Evolutions and everything, and a new type to a formula that hadn't been changed in like 4 generations.
And did people at first, Danny? Did people were concerned about that? Was there like a concern?
No, like
about
when they added a new type, no one had a problem with it.
People want.
It was generally like well received.
Okay. The thing is, even that isn't innovation because like they're adding their Pokemon is actually a very good example of like
the formula.
In the same vein as
just
Doom.
Evolving over incrementally,
evolving over time, but it's the same formula. The formula works. They don't need to change it. Like, and they won't. They likely will not change the formula.
I mean,
it's always going to be a turn-based game. There's always going to be types that beat each other out. Yep. There's always going to be new Pokemon, but like
even at that, it's always new kid that moves into town.
Yeah.
It's now time for him to leave town because he's now a Pokemon trainer. He has to go get the 6 badges.
Yeah, go fight the Elite Four.
Beat the champion.
Beat the champion. That's Pokemon.
Yeah.
People love it, and it's like that's a good example of the formula. And Doom actually does it well. Yeah. Like they change things in ways
rarely, but they do
in small ways. They change things to make it more fresh, but it works.
The black and white problem, or not problem, but like the main story point, which was, do Pokemon actually even like fighting?
Yeah.
That was like the
evil
big
team
story thing.
In that Pokemon was like a Pokemon rights group.
Yeah.
What, really?
Yeah. And they were forcibly taking other people's Pokemon.
Yeah,
like if you're a trainer,
battling.
For what game was this again?
Black and White.
Yeah.
The first Black and White, right?
That's interesting.
Yeah, because Black 2 and White 2, they sort of follow the same thing, but it's a little bit different.
It's mainly like the first Black and White.
Yeah. It's first Black and White.
Okay.
That one added like a bit more narrative, and actually, I have to say, out of all the Pokemon, Black 2 and White 2 are my favorite.
Over Black and White?
Over Black and White. I like Black and White, but Black and White 2 it had so much content, and it was like the narrative was more. It also has some of my favorite Pokemon, so that one actually. I have to say is way more narrative driven, like the Black and White previous ones. Like there's always like a team, like an evil team that's trying to steal your Pokemon. In this one, there was still like an evil team that's trying to steal Pokemon, but they raised the question like, is Pokemon battling right?
Yeah.
Like do the Pokemon have a say in this? Yeah. Like, but and the way that they handle that, I feel is really interesting. Again,
forcibly abducting your Pokemon. No, we will set them free.
They again, like, not really innovation.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just incremental evolution.
Incremental evolution, and they sort of in X and Y they sort of touch upon a narrative, but it's not as. I feel that it's not as detailed as in Black and White.
Black and White.
So real quick, like going back to Nintendo as a whole. I do think that over time they've had a lot of like bestsellers. From the GameCube on, things have been kind of good, right, in terms of like their software.
I mean,
but but I mean like in the newer eras, right?
Right.
But lately, I feel like Star Fox is the beginning, unless they change things, is the beginning of them so desperate to innovate for the sake of innovation that maybe we should be concerned about future iterations of their games.
I mean, because they do. If they make Mario Kart 9, guess what? I'm still gonna buy Mario Kart 9.
But what I'm saying is that, to innovate just for the sake of, or to add gimmicks for the sake of gimmicks. Maybe they're just, and I kind of just don't have another term for this, but like I'm not trying to say bullshit, but like they're just eating their own shit. Like it's. Maybe they should take the approach that id and Bethesda did with some of their games.
Well, the thing is that they do
that.
Yeah,
you're right.
Pokemon is the example. Yeah. Zelda is the example.
Sure.
Mario is the example. The Kirby is the example. Like they do that. They stick to formulas when they can. But like I really don't agree with that, because without their thought process, no Mario Sunshine, no Mario Galaxy. Sure. What was it? No, like Pokemon Coliseum or XD, which were vast,
or Pokken, right?
Or Pokken Tournament. Yeah. Like without this process that Nintendo has of thinking like we want to try something new and let's try something different.
Double Dash,
and even if it's gimmicky in some sort of way, like we don't get excellent games. Like no Splatoon, like
that would have never been. That
was their first new IP
in the long.
And you know what? It did fairly well.
Fantastically, it's still doing fantastically, actually.
But on the other side, like when they're ham-handing those features in there, you wind up with Link's crossbow training and other games like that.
And that's granted, that's more like a tech demo for like the Wii, right?
It's true.
But still, I think that what I mean to say is not necessarily like their overall like planning and like their mindset. What I mean is that right now, because the Wii is kind of dead in the Wii U is basically dead in the water, and I don't think anyone can argue against that really. But they're at a point where maybe they're trying to think of things very quickly, and I feel like that could be a detriment to their process. You know what I mean? Like I feel like they're rushing things, and again, I feel like I love that they innovate. I like that they try to innovate, because that's not something that from like the console perspective that Sony or Microsoft does. They never really do that. They just do things really well. I just think that they try so hard to justify like motion controls and stuff like that, which for the most case works fairly well on some games.
Well, I mean, so let me stop you there real quick.
Go for it.
Outside of Star Fox Zero, what other example can you say that they actually really shoehorned in and done a bad job with their titles?
Skyward Sword.
You think Skyward Sword?
I don't think Skyward Sword was a particularly good game.
I mean, but that doesn't have to do with.
But it does have motion controls.
It does,
and they weren't terrible, but they weren't. It stopped me from continuing the game.
Did Bayonetta 2 have stuff on the second screen?
I think,
or it was just like options, right? I don't remember too well. I think it was like your health bar on the bottom screen.
I think you could see what inventory.
I don't remember too well,
because that's what Skyward Sword did. Like they put inventory
and
on the other screen.
For that, like I have no problem. Like if
I'm talking about Skyward Sword, not like the review.
Skyward Sword.
Skyward Sword is the one you're talking about.
Is that one? Wait, that one came out on the Wii.
Yeah, Skyward Sword was on the Wii also. Wii U also.
Wait, Skyward Sword doesn't have Wii U, no? The Wii U doesn't have.
Then I totally disagree with you, because
really
the Wii U motion controls didn't work fantastically, but you also didn't have to use them
on the Wii U.
On the Wii.
On the Wii.
On the Wii.
Were you able to use a Pro Controller on Skyward Sword?
Yes.
Are you sure?
There was a special Pro Controller that came with it.
Oh yeah, but you had to buy that version.
Yeah, but you didn't have to use
that version
motion controls.
Oh, you know what? There was a custom moveset in Monster Hunter Tri where you used your motion controls. Mm-hmm. I immediately threw that into the garbage. I reserved the special one that came with the special Pro control, so I could use normal buttons.
Yeah.
Because no.
Also. They were the same sort of motion controls that were in Twilight Princess, and those.
Oh yeah, well the thing is, I played Twilight Princess on the GameCube.
I played it on the Wii, and it was.
You were okay with
that? Was alright.
So, like I said, it's not the case for all the games. Because most first party Wii U games like Bayonetta or like Mario Maker and all that stuff, they work just fine. But Star Fox did not, right? And for me, in my personal opinion, that was what
I think it's specifically the method in which they did it. In that it's not the screen in your hands wasn't a optional thing where you could maybe assist you. It was no, you have to look at it. You have to keep both.
Which I'm not arguing that it's like good or anything. I'm saying that outside of Star Fox Zero, what Wii U title has had that problem that it just falls short. And I'm willing to say
U.
No, people like Zombie U.
Zombie U was
actually
Zombie U, but with the Wii U controls.
With Wii U controls,
that's what people argue that's what makes Zombie U a good game.
People like Zombie U.
Yeah, I liked it
because I thought the thing was like they stripped the U part, which was the take up the screen and look around with it. And
they did that.
Zombie.
They only did that because they moved it to PS4.
Yeah,
actually, people liked it
really
on the Wii.
People liked it. It gave it great scores. People
it's a cult classic.
Yeah, people really liked it. And I'm saying like of the recent Wii U titles, right? Of anything recent,
Star Fox. That's about
which
it.
is
realistically
like before anything before Star Fox.
The
Zero,
isolated incident that is. Star Fox.
People have said nothing bad about any game leading up to Star Fox Zero.
Right, yeah.
Which means Star Fox Zero is one isolated incident.
Yeah,
which
right.
means that there's no other evidence to really show. Like it's just they wanted to do something different with.
They gave it a shot.
Yeah, and I do appreciate that. I think like I said, what I'm just trying to say is that what if this is them becoming in some ways rushed with their process of how they do innovation.
I see that you're saying that, but I'm saying that there's no.
No, actually, because how long has Star Fox been teased for the Wii U?
Oh, like
2, 3.
Yeah, but I have a feeling that because I went through that game went through some changes.
Yeah.
From like from last E3 to the previous E3, they had some massive changes because of the reception of it. Because the reception of it at the beginning was very lukewarm. Mm-hmm. Mostly because of the visual style. I know you like the visuals, but a lot of people did not. Were just like it just looks like whatever. Very colorful, but it doesn't look impressive.
Also, I don't remember that new open world Zelda. What they were doing with the bottom screen, I don't remember too well.
It was inventory.
Yeah.
Was it?
Is it inventory? That's completely fine.
That's totally fine with me.
They've done that for
a lot of games.
Well, they do that with. They also do it for Twilight Princess. Like the bottom screen is inventory.
Imagine if you had that in The Last of Us, where your character sitting through the backpack was the bottom screen, and you just
okay, maybe
get back in there.
Because
I mean, the big thing of it was you're still in actual time. The game doesn't pause.
Yeah, it doesn't pause.
You bring down your backpack and like, someone cover me. I'm sifting through my shit.
And it'll literally take you out of the menu if you got attacked by a clicker or something.
Yeah.
While we're still talking about Nintendo, though, I actually have to bring up that I think there's a this sort of argument, this particular argument sort of fluctuates in through Nintendo's lifespan, right?
Absolutely.
When we're talking about Doom, we're like people are critically praising it for doing the exact same thing that it does.
It's always done.
It's always done.
Yeah.
But for some reason, like there's a double standard where it's not acceptable that Nintendo does that. And I've heard it multiple times, and it is a waxing and waning argument. Sometimes the people talk about it more, usually when there's a new Zelda or when there's a new something. But people are always complaining about the nostalgia machine that is Nintendo. Like about how they're rehashing titles and like they're doing like the same thing over and over again. But for some reason, Doom. That the only thing that's new is that it has a coat of paint.
Yeah.
And oh dear God! Yes.
Applause.
Wonderful.
Applause. Like the best thing
Jesus.
ever. Yeah.
Granted, I do think that maybe the minor difference.
It could be because they've done it less.
Well, maybe, but I'm kind of going along those lines, and it could be just a minor thing. But Doom 3 was 2005. That was the last, and also that was they were trying to innovate. It was an evolution of the game. A lot of people didn't actually like it. I thought it was okay, and it's been
a slower pace.
It's been more
spooky.
It's been like 15 years since a Doom game came out, and I think that maybe that's the difference because. I think maybe a lot of people, I sometimes argue that, right? That like it's this giant nostalgia machine, blah blah blah. But I think that maybe it's because we continuously see Mario games, and a lot of people don't actually play them, and they just say, "Oh, it's the same thing over and over again." Same thing with Call of Duty. To some extent, like in the sense that they continuously come out, and there's not a huge gap between a lot of these games.
They do, but it's also there's.
I'm just making that as a note. Not that I'm saying that.
Well, yeah, but there's no yearly Mario really.
No,
like, there's different iterations. Like there's
Paper
probably,
Mario, all those kinds of
like
things,
other things, and they're handled by Nintendo, but by different factions of Nintendo. And like it's the same thing. Like there's not always a new Pokemon. Like it's been 2 years since then. Like last year they had the
Omega and
Alpha. Alpha.
Excuse me.
You want some more water?
I'll go get some more water.
Okay. Which again is just a remake, right? Yep. But there was no new Pokemon. Sometimes it takes a while for there to be a new Pokemon. Sometimes it's taken years for them to make a new Legend of Zelda. We haven't seen Metroid in forever. This Star Fox is
it's a long time.
Since the last.
Do you think
Star
this
Fox.
could close the gate for there being another Star Fox anytime soon?
It's possible.
I actually don't think. I think that they will make another Star Fox within the next 5 years. They will. I have a feeling they will.
It's possible, but I don't know. I think both sides are possible. I think this might make them stop for a bit,
go back into the vault and back there for a little bit. I think that Zelda is an example that people do want that innovation, and I think that they'll take it any way it comes. But I think that
people were losing their shit when they found out that the new one's going to be open world.
Like, in a good way or a bad way, because I think that's awesome.
No, people were happy for it. They wanted
the demo from 2-3 years ago now, it would look incredible. It looked great for a Zelda game, you know. I think that maybe they curate and take care more of certain properties than they do other properties. Maybe, I don't know.
It's like it only feels like Nintendo continually releases these games.
Yeah.
It only feels that way because we do see them quite a bit.
Yeah.
But it's never every year after. It's not year after year after year. It's actually this year gets a couple of titles. Then they don't make that titles. Next year they release another few titles.
Yeah, they go back and forth.
Maybe the next year after that they release another different titles. You know.
A couple of years back they had the year of Luigi, where they were just a bunch of different style type of games based around.
They released New Super Mario Bros. Wii U Luigi, right?
Yeah,
that was like a secondary game. Mm-hmm. The entire game just with Luigi.
Freaking Luigi's Mansion on the DS, the Crescent Moon or something like that.
Something like that. I like the first one.
It really. I still feel like there's a double standard for it.
Yeah, there is.
The thing is, Nintendo compared to who released Doom, Bethesda.
Bethesda published.
How big are they when you compare them to each other? I mean, Nintendo's bigger is such a big fucking thing that I guess people have more. They're demanding of it. They're more demanding of it.
It has more of a spotlight on it.
Which leads them towards their desire to innovate.
And I mean, Nintendo has its safe moves, I guess you could call it, because. I mean, we're at Mario Kart 8, and if they make another Mario Kart, I'm gonna fucking get it, because that game is fun when you play with friends. And they always have spin-offs with Mario Golf, Mario Soccer, Mario Tennis, I mean, there are different spin-offs, and they're always attempting to do something.
There is a double standard, that's for sure. I think that's interesting though, because Nintendo is the definition of video games and what it was birthed from, at least the popular culture of video games. And what was the argument that we're doing right now about Bethesda? I mean, Bethesda
comparing Bethesda.
You can't compare them like Bethesda's like on a much smaller level in terms of being iconic.
Game company.
Being iconic, they're a massive publisher.
They're growing, yeah.
But I think that they're
Bethesda
very careful with the games that they put out.
Yeah, but the best way I can explain it is Bethesda isn't in the big three. You know, For the longest time, it was Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo.
Well, yeah, but they're like console.
Yeah.
But you mean like publisher developer?
Yeah.
Like now it's definitely Ubisoft, EA, Activision. Like from the Western world, they probably not on an iconic level, but who makes the most money every year? Probably them. I mean, all you have to do is look at Call of Duty, Skylanders, FIFA, Madden, like that stuff. Very Western stuff, but still, it's the truth, you know. But from the terms of who's iconic, Nintendo.
Yeah.
You know? Bethesda, I think maybe comes in second because there's a lot of nostalgia for old school Elder Scrolls and stuff like that. You know, now they own id, which is a legendary company. You know?
Well, the argument that we were doing is the difference between Doom's not
Safe
innovation
move.
and not innovation. They made a good game; they're getting praised for it. Yeah. Between Nintendo's innovation, falls flat, and then they don't it basically falls into the water, and comparatively. Nintendo does safe moves. Like they have the incremental thing going on. They have their formulas, but they often get shafted. Meanwhile, Doom, that all they did was they put a coat of paint on it, and then they're suddenly praised. But Nintendo is never allowed to do the same thing, apparently.
Sure.
Well, it could be that. Yeah, I guess it's what Todd was pushing in that. How many Dooms are there?
It's true, but I don't think that really.
No, it doesn't. But I think that, like I said, that the public perspective of the people that really argue that because they see
in their eyes,
a lot.
Their formula hasn't gone stale yet.
Yeah, they see a lot of Nintendo stuff, but like Doom, holy crap, Doom. A lot of people don't even remember Doom 3.
It's been a couple of years since.
Yeah, a lot of people don't even remember Doom 3. A lot of people skip Doom 3. So I think that's probably those people's perspective, you know. But
I see it mostly as an excuse.
It could be the double standard type of thing.
Again, I'm not seeing it that way. I just imagine that a lot of people see it that way.
It's very possible.
Yeah.
And it's for sure, and it has a lot to do with marketing too. Nintendo knows how to market their games.
It's true. Yeah.
And Doom wasn't heavily marketed. It wasn't heavily
marketed.
Super crazy. Really?
No, it wasn't.
I didn't even know that it had come out.
I forgot that it had come out this past week because
I
it
found
came out
out
the Friday
because-
after Uncharted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally forgot Doom was a thing. But I think it's for now, it's a good place to stop. That's a really interesting topic. That video was really good at explaining that stuff.
Mm.
I think that maybe we should bring it up in the future again when close to the year to the
when
year
Doom
end.
5 comes out, and let's see what Doom 5 does.
Well, if this
Let's
was,
shaft Doom.
Like, check this out. At E3, we'll definitely see a new Wolfenstein, and I will dig that very much. Hopefully, as long as they don't do the wrong thing, or not the wrong thing.
As long as they don't innovate in the wrong matter.
Well,
What is Quake right now?
Shit.
Quake?
Yeah.
Quake is non-existent.
Is it not? I thought there was a Quake.
There was a tournament update for the PC version, like the most recent Quake. But right now it's Unreal Tournament's a thing.
Unreal Tournament. Okay.
And
Unreal Tournament.
I was gonna say Bethesda's just gonna eat up all of them. Like they're gonna have Quake and Unreal Tournament.
Well, Quake
and
is
Duke Nukem.
Quake is also it.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Duke Nukem is.
Oh, they're gonna do another Duke Nukem?
Oh, probably not.
No.
I'm just like saying Bethesda's gonna just eat them all up.
Like I
was gonna say, speaking of games that weren't received well.
Yeah. That's a
Duke
devil's advocate
Nukem.
for you.
That is so bad.
Star Fox Zero is a good one too.
Yeah.
You can do a good on that one.
I could definitely if the thing is I hear that the only bad thing about it is
the controls.
The controls.
And then I've heard people who have gotten used to the controls and be like, this
It's
is
not
fine.
bad. Gerard did a completionist run on it, and he said, just get good with the controls, and it's actually not that bad.
Well,
Gerard, the
I have to give it a shot though, just so I can see whether those opinions are misguided or not. We'll see. But yeah, keep that topic on hold for another time. There's still a lot to talk about there.
Let's wait for Doom 5.
We didn't even cover the whole innovation, what actually constitutes innovation
And not making it a gimmick.
Yeah,
That's very difficult.
It's a big topic.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
People should.
Let's continue it next week then.
Okay.
Part 2.
Yeah. Assuming there's no news next week. All right. Yeah, that's a good place to put a show.
What are we running at?
50. We're still okay because the news is only 30 minutes.
I don't know.
Yeah, we're okay. Yeah.
All right.
Very happy so far.
But we're getting better. We're getting there.
Yeah.
After 14, 15 weeks of trying.
I'll wait.
Actually, no, we didn't actually really start trying until like maybe 3 weeks back when we're like, okay, guys,
now
I think we can do it.
2.5 hours.
You know what? Let's actually try it. Yeah. We're getting there.
All we need is a slow news week.
like this week.
Yeah.
We're fucked on E3 week.
Oh my god. That's like okay, this is the thing. I think we should do one episode per day. For the three main conferences, which Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Yep. Or figure out some way to kind of do that, or compress it all into one. No.
10 mega cast.
No, that's terrible.
I think a podcast per day would.
How about this? We should probably do. Let's split it up into conferences. So we do like max 40 minutes per conference, unless there's something huge.
Yeah. So we have more podcasts, but
smaller.
Yeah, smaller.
We'll try.
We'll call it the podcast flood.
The podcast. I like that. The podcast flood.
The pod bomb.
All right. Before it gets to
an hour,
60 minutes. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. So have a good one, guys. Have a good week.
This is goodbye until next week. Bye bye.
See ya.